Welcome back to another episode of The Resilient Realtor with me, Jordan McCaffrey. I am a realtor with RE/MAX Lake of the Ozarks, and I'm super pumped to be here today. So in our last few videos, we talked about the mortgage lending process. We've talked about pre-approvals in depth. Please get one before you go look at houses. The application, what you're gonna need to fill it out. We are finally at the last stages. There's a couple things that need to happen, 2 things before you get to closing. So you are gonna wanna make sure that you got that closing disclosure. So that's gonna have your finalized interest rate, monthly payments, it's gonna have your closing costs, all of the things. Really just pay attention to all of it. It's all important, even if it doesn't seem like it. Even if it seems boring, it's important. So you got your closing disclosure, you know what your closing costs are gonna be, you talk to your lender, do it, and figured out how you're gonna pay those closing costs. You figured out if it's a cashier's check or electronic. You're gonna wanna need to know that because cashier's checks you have to get from your bank, and if you're closing on a Saturday and your bank is closed, you wanna make sure that you have that cashier's check. So do that, be aware. The more you know, right? I'm just gonna keep saying that over and over. The more you know, because the more you know, the better equipped you are to go into these situations. And closing disclosure is gonna tell you what they are. That is gonna have all of the numbers that you need to know on there. You're gonna do a final walkthrough with your realtor. This is not a new inspection. You're not newly inspecting the property. You're just making sure that the things that we're supposed to be taken care of are, and that it's vacant. So no one lives there. You're also gonna wanna make sure that you have 2 forms of identification because you need to bring those with you to closing. Personal experience, I almost didn't do that, and I almost drove 2.5 hours not doing that. So just do it. Do it, it's important. And necessary, because without them, you can't close. So there is a lot of paperwork involved in closing. There's a lot of it, but there are 4 key closing documents that you should be aware of. The first is that closing disclosure, which you've already received. You've already looked it over. You've already got your closing, all of that. You know what it is. There's a promissory note where it is exactly what it sounds like. It is your promise to repay the lender or the loan. So then there's a deed of trust. That gives your lender a claim to your home. So it solidifies that promissory note, and it actually makes it to where legally the lender owns your home. So if you don't make a payment, they own your home. It's a thing, don't do that. Make your payments, pay your lender, avoid that. Also a certificate of occupancy, and that is for new construction homes. So if you're buying a brand new house, you're gonna wanna have that. So those are the 4 key closing documents, although there are a lot more of them. So many things, so much paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork, but those are the 4 that you're definitely gonna wanna be aware of. Make sure you're reading all of the things. I know that it's gonna be boring. It's dry, it's contracts, it's legally binding. So make sure you're paying attention. You're not just like, sign, sign, sign. I mean, you can if you want to, but if you wanna be aware of everything that's happening, make sure you're paying attention. You're reading all of the things, all the little things, and at the end of this, you're gonna get the keys. You're gonna get the keys, you're gonna get to go and unload that U-Haul or have the moving guys unload their truck, and you get to move into your house. And it's awesome, and I'm super proud of you for making this decision. As always, if you have any questions, just feel free to send me an email. Go to my website, see what homes are available, and when you decide to move to the lake, I'll be here.